Welcome to Getting to Know You, residents and staff at Stonebridge. We're glad to be here today. We've had some wonderful snow, but today is really about getting to know others at Stonebridge and what's been happening that really I think is quite exciting. So we're going to tell a story, but we only have a beginning and a middle. There's no end, and we don't know if there ever will be an end. So I want you to meet two Stonebridge women who I think are among the people who have the best combination of smiles and smarts. And we have all benefited from that combination. Sitting right next to me is Doreen Maloof, and sitting next to her is Ruth Laux. Now, Ruth moved in a couple of years before Doreen and her husband Bruce, and she's already had experience bringing her smile and the caring to individuals in skilled nursing. And she's a pioneering bocce player. And I think both of those things sort of fit into good backgrounds to have for this. And then Doreen is a more recent arrival who found being active at Stonebridge was enjoyable, and it turned out being useful for us. She is now the co-chair of the garden committee, and will do more on that topic in the spring. And it'll be spring soon. Mm-hmm. So, let's get to the next page. So, the thing is that they knew each other, as a lot of people do. And now I will stop and let the story begin, because you will have already seen that the title of this segment is Chit Chat. And I'm not going to tell you what it's all about, because I'm going to turn to Doreen, because I think your observation got this story that title. Is that right?
Probably. I think we talked about it together. Actually, the story begins last spring, and in some ways we built this program on the shoulders of people who came before us. There was a group last spring when we shut down that got together and reached out to a lot of people in the community. There were basically people calling others. And actually, when we started this part of the program, we found many of those interactions were still going on. So now, 10 months later, people are still chit-chatting with people they met up with last spring. So when November came around and we realized that the community was gradually shutting down again, some of us began to think that this could be a very sort of isolating experience, particularly in the winter, when we couldn't get outside so easily. And Ruth and I started chit-chatting about it. We came up with the name Social Chit Chat, and we talked about how to organize the program. And
Doreen, can I just interrupt you,
Yes.
because I thought when you were explaining the Chit Chat, you made an observation about what you saw people doing when they
Yes.
could get out.
Yes.
And you used that term. Could you just say a little bit more about that?
Well, when we moved here about a year and a half ago, and when we arrived, neither my husband nor I could get over how much talking people did here. And most of it was chit-chat. We would walk in the halls and we would chit-chat all the way down the halls, up the elevator and into our apartment. We'd go to dinner and we'd chit-chat for 2 hours there. If you were in a committee, you spent maybe 10 minutes on the program
Right.
and another hour chit-chatting. So it just seemed like a natural name for Stonebridge. And it reflected the way that our community works in healthy times. And that's why we developed or added on to the previous program in order to try to build a bit more chit-chat during the time of COVID.
So, Ruth, you developed a sort of a principle of what this was going to be about. It was not something that was helping people, it was a mutual connection. Is that a good way to explain it?
Yeah, well, I think the way that I got involved mostly was my my terrific sadness at everything being closed down, because I really found my purpose here, other than just functioning and having friends and doing social things, was visiting people in the closed units.
Right.
And I missed that terribly, and I was talking to somebody and I said, you know, I feel like my purpose has been taken away. And he called me the next day and he said, I just found a new purpose for you. You can be my friendly visitor. And so I said, oh, okay. So, and strangely, that has worked to great advantage to both of us.
Right.
It gives me a chance to be helpful and friendly and talk, and he appreciates having a call. He's up in years and a little bit frail, so I think it's been a positive
Right.
thing for both of us.
But you sort of had the idea that you didn't have to sign up to be called, but you could make a decision if you wanted to be a caller or if you wanted to be called.
Yeah. Mhm.
And I guess you found that to be a kind of a freeing thing for people. Would you say that was a big element in
I
this?
think so. It was, when we advertised it to begin with, we talked about people either volunteering to call somebody, to be called, or to do both. And some people volunteered right away, and then we got on the phone and started calling other people. And we always gave them the choice, would you like to call or would you like to be called?
Mhm.
And sometimes we were surprised. Sometimes we thought, this person is probably going to want to be called,
Mhm.
and not at all. They wanted to be the caller. So I think that was a little different than the first time
Mhm.
around when this program was going.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You also seem to be very happy about doing something that's hard, and that you called people who you didn't know. You'd seen the name on the list or heard somebody else, and that's pretty hard to do, but it turned out to work.
Well, Doreen is just she just makes things work. And I do have a note on my bulletin board right next to my kitchen table that says, make me aware of the needs of others.
Uh-huh.
And I think, actually, we could change that to say, make me aware of the needs of others as much as Doreen Malouf does.
Now, there's another sort of secret thing that I don't quite understand what it's all about, but somebody said that they're two-fisted cookie eaters?
Yeah. Yeah.
So what does that mean?
You know, when we structured the program, we really thought about how can we keep people engaged in this over the winter.
Mhm.
And we knew that talking to others would be good,
Mhm.
but we decided we would try to make a little treat every week for everybody participating in the program. And one week we made oatmeal raisin cookies, and I had and in addition to the little treat, we try to put a little quote in
Mhm.
that maybe will inspire you or make you laugh or whatever. And one week we made these oatmeal raisin cookies, and one of the residents wrote us that lovely note
Mhm.
about being a two-fisted cookie eater. And that's been one of
That's
the,
because they were so big?
well,
No.
just that there was a cookie in each hand.
Oh,
I think
yeah.
the note in there said happiness is
Oh, I
having a cookie in each hand.
I
or
see,
something.
okay.
You know, so that's added a lot of fun to the program, I
Uh-huh.
think, because I love looking online and trying to find something
Mhm.
quirky or fun to give
Yeah.
out. This last week, I brought this one along just to show you. I don't know if you can see it. It's a fortune cookie,
Uh-huh.
right? And early on, we decided we had to have a logo. So our telephone is our logo.
Uh-huh.
You might not be able to
Okay.
see it, but everything that goes out gets stamped with a telephone.
Okay.
So hopefully the person who receives it says, oh, this is from Social
Right,
Chit
yeah,
Chat.
yeah.
And there's a little saying in this, and I think the saying in here was something like, we are so fortunate to have you participating in the program.
Uh-huh.
And of course, it's a
Clever,
fortune.
very clever.
So sometimes a little play on words or
Mhm.
whatever. I also brought one thing that, if I can dig it out, I should have got it out before. Here we go. Ruth made these cards. She's a calligrapher, which I don't know anything about. So she made a card for everybody participating in the program, and there are 90 of us.
Mhm.
So everybody got a personal card, and many people responded. And I think they welcomed the sentiment, thank you for being a friend,
Mhm.
but more so, the idea that it was something personally done
Mhm.
on their behalf.
Mhm.
So a pat on the back to Ruth.
Well,
I'm gonna tell you, what I did with those little thank you for being a friend cards pales in comparison to all the work that Doreen has put into it. Every week, somebody getting a little reminder, hey, don't forget to call the person you're
Yes.
supposed to call.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's what that does. It jogs people's memories.
Right.
Okay,
Right.
this has to do with chit chat, I better make a call.
So now the story's to the middle. It looks like it's really going well, and is it a success? And we talked a little bit about how hard it is to judge this kind of thing. What standard would you use? And so someone among us, probably one of you, said, well, why don't we ask? So on Friday afternoon, a note went out to every single person. And Monday morning, there was a list of 25, 30 things that people had written back. So we don't have time to do all of them. So I asked Doreen and Ruth if we took the list down and made a little bundle of very brief messages that people sent, and then another bundle in the larger dish of people who took 3 or 4 lines. And so we're going to do a sample of what we got so that you can hear a little bit of the voices of the people who have joined the Chit Chat to call or to be called. And I think that's probably the best test, the best research project we could do is to ask people what happened. So Ruth, can you go into the little one there and read the first one?
You are just what new people need, thanks.
All right, now you can pick a new one, and then we'll go a little one, and then we'll go to a big one.
Thanks from the new kid on the block.
Great, I love it. Okay, now we'll do a long one from that box. Okay.
Dear leaders, boy, am I glad I joined up with the Chit Chatters. Pink pens with flowers, cupcakes, cookies, and besides, I'm making a nice new friend. Hugs from a two-fisted cookie eater.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
That's the one. Having the opportunity to chit-chat with my partner via a weekly phone call has been a treat for me, especially in this difficult time of COVID isolation. It's been a little oasis of friendship and community that I look forward to. I appreciate her enthusiastic, caring nature, aside from our many shared mutual interests. For example, painting, gardening, Bible study, and walking. Thank you for organizing and facilitating social chit-chat.
Okay. All right, another short one then, Ruth?
We have not yet met face to face, but each time we talk, we discover life experiences that are surprisingly similar. Can't wait to meet my new friend.
Isn't that great when people
Yeah.
haven't met?
Yeah.
We have nice talks after I have reintroduced myself. She had many thanks after I left her a homemade birthday cookie.
Very nice. Okay, another long one, Ruth.
I discovered your friendly note in my cubby yesterday, and it made me smile. I have found such nice folks at Stonebridge, but not even seen their faces. Let's hope the masks can come off soon and we can resume happy lives. Your kindness is much appreciated.
Nice. Long one? Okay.
My partner is a world traveler and a delightful person. She said that her place at the end of the COVID vaccinations was not because of a lottery, but because of her name falling at the end of the alphabet. I'm glad that she came to me by chance, because she would have been my first choice.
Nice, isn't that nice?
Nice.
Okay,
Yes.
a short one.
Enjoy talking to my partners. Hope they are enjoying my calls. They never hang up on me.
That's great, I love that one.
Little humor.
This is really funny.
Mhm.
You ladies are so thoughtful.
That's great. Okay, another long one, Ruth. We're coming to the end.
Yes. Whoops. My connection has been either phone calls or notes on my handmade cards and a container outside my door on a table saying, help yourself, individually wrapped candies. It's important to give a little thought to the conversation. Do not talk about the weather. Books read by the author on discs, join on one's computer, brain pickings, have fun.
That's great.
And this was actually a suggestion. Start wearing name tags again. Many of us have forgotten names during the minimal socialization, and others moved in during this period. And thank you for the work you've done to help socializing.
Did we read them all there? We have one left.
What, you want to do
Do the last one, Doreen.
Oh.
You're the boss.
Oh, this is nice, this one. The person I call is an easy laugher, so we have lots of laughs together. I have been lucky enough to have 2 brief visits with her during vaccinations. I thought that was kind of the story of COVID, that there are many people are spending most of their time at home, and we're finally meeting each other when we're getting a vaccination, and it's our pathway out.
Right, it is. Yeah.
So,
Well, this has been great, and we are at a wonderful midpoint, I would say, and done a little check on how the program is doing, and I just hope it continues, and that someday, to meet your hope, Doreen, that we'll have chit chat everywhere, without masks, that we'll know each other. And
Yeah,
so on.
all right.
So I saved the one person who wrote a poem for me to read, because I was really moved by it, if that's okay. How would I decide, half a poem each or something, so, you know.
go ahead.
I was asked, would you be willing to call? I answered, I'd be glad to. I phoned her once, and we had a ball, and not because I had to. We chatted for a while, and then I called another day, and then I called and called again. We had more and more to say. A friendship started back a while, has grown as we've kept growing. Today, if asked if I give a big smile, I do, even when it's snowing. So that's the story. So we hope that we all will be chit-chatting and getting to know those people that we don't already know, and connecting up with the people that we do know, and maybe mixing them up together. So thank you for joining us and getting to know us. How's that? And we will look forward to talking to you again sometime. But for now, give Doreen and Ruth a big smile. I know they would appreciate it. And thank you to both of you. This is a really great
Thank you.
adventure. Thank you.